Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith of the Black with the Strat Time Report, and we got 2-2 on a Tuesday on a gapper on the SPY. So here's the SPY, and remember on Monday yesterday, 2 down by taking out the lows, and then we gap up here and kind of sit. So as I said in the weekend video, we can expect a lot of back and forth because of this inside month. Back and forth we go as we consolidate in here. And I also said that like every 60 is a new day to us, and certainly it is. You can see there was a little bit of a tone change here on a 2 up, 2 down on the 60, but now we got a new 60. So most things are 2 up, right? So what does that mean? So what that means is right now, as far as we know, remember this really tight consolidation, the 4 days of boredom? Well, that gives us this broadening formation like so, right? So now we're going back through. But we stall out a bit, and so we do have a lot of earnings, still dealing with the Ukraine and all that kind of stuff, and trying to hear what the Fed has to say. So right now we just stall out new 60, all right? If we go to the QQQ, Qs also stall out, give us the outside 60 here, all right? So that stalls out a bit. Still inside month, but red and closer to the downside. But now on the 2-2, here's your broadening formation in the Qs, and trying to go outside week and back into here. But you can see these 3 weeks all stuck inside of these two things, right? So stall out. If you go to the diamonds, in the diamonds you're going to see this. The higher high, the lower low. So there's your daily broadening formation. These things will get bigger. There's got to do something, but you can see this monthly. You can expect the chop back and forth on the inside month. If you go to small caps, and small capper, 2-2 on a Tuesday, still inside month though, and still inside week. You did get your inside 60 to break to the upside. Now you got a new 60 trying to carry through with that. So a little bit of a stall out, but like I said, most things are 2 to the upside. What we did have coming in here is we had crude puke and Pooty backing off a little bit and crude coming down. So there's your 2 up, 2 down. On a gap though, and now going back green, so a little conflict in there. You did have your inside 60, the 2-1-2 reversal in crude. Gold was down this morning too. Guess we don't need that much anymore, but a lot of this gap and sit, so you want to just go where the rotation is going. And so what we saw was SMH here. SMH is 2 down, 2 up, right? And still hasn't made a lower low on the 60. Right, still once again handily inside on this, but we got Nvidia earnings coming out, and they're trying to run Nvidia in front of that here, and that is 2-2 on a Tuesday, and so these two become an outside bar of that. Handily inside month, earnings coming out, inside weaker, it looks like, and stalling out just a tad, but they were trying to come after all of them, for a while, like LRCX here, 2 down, 2 up. Inside month, stall out, which is a little tough, and you get your higher high and your lower low. So a lot of these broadening formations just getting stuck in the middle. If you go to AVGO, and AVGO inside day and up, and that's all them semis trying to go M-Power. And this is nice because it had a lot of nice magnitude on this. You can see this 2 down, and then it goes 2 down, 2 up. The magnitude was to take that out, which is a nice move, and you got it. These two will become an outside bar of that. Still handling an inside month, but you are taking out last week's highs and just stalling out with a lot of things here. So the market stays a little weak on this new 60. Like I said, we just started a new 60-minute bar, and so we want to see the direction of this thing. What's the next 2? Right, we're closer to 2 and down, but like I said, that's conflict because we got most things are 2 up. Let's go to AMD on the day. AMD just slightly taking that inside day up and stalling out, but inside months are all over the place. The other thing they were going to was some pandemic names, and that's your EXPE here. This was in the video last night. Hits magnitude and stalls out. What do I mean by that? When you have an outside bar, 3, 1, 2, magnitudes either take that or that out. Right, the highs of these things, because they were willing to pay up and sell down. Then they met in the middle. Then they came back with more guns and said, okay, now we're going to go try and take that out, which it did. Also, outside month to the upside. Momo hammer. That's a 2 up hammer, and then boom, right up to that. Still trying to flirt with that inside week, but that tells us to go down the line. And you got Marriott here also. The 3-1-2 into the highs, all right? And now coming in just a bit, like I said, once you hit your magnitude, then you got to defend it and make sure it stays up there. Buyers got to step up because you stopped everybody out. If we go to airlines, American Airlines coming up just a little bit here on the 2-2 day. How about United? And there you go. And how about the restaurants? Brinker, you doing anything here? Eat little bit. DRI. Little bit, not much. So we'll see. If we go to space with a nice morning here, folks, and still an inside month, but here's your 2-2 on a Tuesday. 2 down, 2 up, and back to the previous range and start racing. And we know this thing's been a lot higher. And trying to take last month's highs out, or last week's highs out. Then you can go after the month, and that's still up there, 1373. So that's got some distance there. If we go to, well, like I said, the crude was coming in, and so XLE was your loser, but not really getting killed, right? And if you go to OIH, here, OIH coming back in was an inside day. Now it's trying to go 1 bar rev strat outside day, right? Because we know we have all these macro signals in these things. And if you go to Slob trying to come all the way back. And if you go down to like 15er, about a 30. There's your inside 15 right there. If you go to a 30, there's your inside 30, and off she goes. And whenever you see like a tight consolidation range like this, and it gets taken out, but then you come back through it, that's the middle of the try. That's the middle of your broadening formation, right? Just like I showed you on the daily SPY a second ago. And there you go. There's your 30-minute broadening formation. You got a smaller one here because you got an outside bar. So those things still trying to fight back. We'll see. If we go to net. And net, just an inside day to the upside, stalling out a little bit in here. Still an inside week and inside month, but there's a lot of things that are inside day to the upside after a real snoozer yesterday. If we go to AMKR. And AMKR just having a nice little day. 2 down, 2-2 on a Tuesday, and if that works, you get your outside week. Still handling an inside month, but having a nice little day. There was your inside 30 here. And off she goes. If we go to Zilla, and Zilla's still trying to work. And this is why, once you have a gap, you can stay on these things unless there's no lower low. So this gap holds, and it's still going. And if that works, potentially you're going to go 2 on the month and take this thing out here over 64.75 and getting closer, a little bit closer right now. If we go to Ulta. And Ulta, 2-2 on a Tuesday. 2 down, 2 up. These two become an outside bar of that in the hopes you can go take this thing out. Right? Now trying to cook an inside 30 for you, and if that works, you might get your outside week. Still handling like an inside month, like a lot of things, but we'll see. If we go to Sabre, S-A-B-R. And Sabre, just going inside and 30 down, so we'll see if that can set up a rev strat, because you get a nice little taking out last month's highs, you're taking out last week's highs, and you're 2-2 on a Tuesday, just some exhaustion risk by taking all these guys out, but it has been higher in the past, so we can keep an eye on this thing. If we go to Beam, and Beam, trying to take the inside week to the upside. Still an inside month, we'll be aware of that. It's a 3-2 on a Monday. Tried to hit it yesterday and went outside, and 3-2 up. Now it's stalling out. We'll see if we can get some inside 30 out of that. If we go to Airbag and Bag, earnings coming out. But in front of those earnings, it's going after the month here. 2 down, 2-2 month to the upside, right? On an inside day. So it hits magnitude by taking these guys out. Just stalls out a little bit. And like I said, the earnings are coming, but you're triangling out. 2-2 reversal week, and that's still working, coming back up through all this stuff. So should be interesting on the earnings. If we go to Wolf, and Wolf, nice little inside day to the upside, and if that works, takes out the weekly highs. Now maybe an inside 30, still handily an inside month, but it is green, so be aware of that. Then there's a little game we call, one of these things is not like the other. So when you have the energies all gapping down and starting to come back, what you want to look for is any energy taking out yesterday's highs. That's going to be P10. Patterson Energy, still good, right? So they couldn't hit this one, right? So they're still trying to buy this because we know from the macro vid that, all these macro energy setups are still good. They will triangle them out and set them up again, but that's how it goes. If we've got some guys are lagging, the big boys, Facebook, still can't get going. And it's not totally getting killed, but not participating. And you can see this nice little inside 15. Inside 15 up, inside 15 down for the old scalperoo. Amazon. And Amazon, you can see not playing well with all. There's still an inside day, so not the end of the world, but notable unstrength compared to everything else. Google, nope. And this is where you can say, is it all tech? I'm like, no, semis is what was going on. And Adobe, we know from that last week, this could potential outside day. And from still going from this last week, 2-2 reversal down and taking out last month's low. So Adobe's still having some issues. You go to Mr. Softy, Microsoft. And it's not the end of the world. It's still a 2 up, just not participating. And so you want to make sure you don't get involved in anything that's not participating when the market starts to rally. Right now, market just stalling out. SPY. Ugh. So SPY, you might get yourself an inside 15er. So we'll see how that goes. If we go to MEDP. And MEDP just getting rocked. And here on the 15er, you can see it's just absolutely getting killed. And even if you just waited, say, all right, I'm going to wait for them to triangle the out. Gets killed. 2-2 reversal here on the 15, but then it goes up here 2 on the 15, 2-2, and back down. That's what you look when you hear the triangle they out. All right, what that means is we had a reversal against the main trend with everything else being red. All right, wait for this, and then boom. Back to full time frame continuity puker right there. All right, you can see this also a 2-2 reversal on the week, having all sorts of trouble. Here was at 30, look like. If you go to the 30 minute, you see like this. It attempts to go 2-2 reversal on the 30, but fails. And then boom, there it is, 2 up, 2 down. All right, you're in, and that's a nice little move. $7-8. If we go to ICLR. ICLR here, 3-2 on the week, taking 2 on the month to the downside on an outside day. Tries a rally, just boom, and here you can see the inside 30 right there. Corrective activity because this is green, albeit it's inside, and then another inside bar, and then down she goes. If we go to CYTK, and CYTK, here you go on the day. This was a 2 up, 2-2 down, 2-2 reversal on the daily. Still handily inside month. It looks like it's still an inside weaker here too. But when something starts cratering, just know what to do. 2 down, 2 up. Boom, you're in. Get that corrective activity and down she goes. If we go to IQV, just getting slammed here in the weaker, slight higher high, 2, 2, and these 2 become an outside bar of these 3. You see, so it hits magnitude, just staying heavy so far. Here was an inside 30 directional, so was this to the downside. If we go to CRL, and CRL, 2-2 reversal to start the day on the 30, which is going to set up the outside day. So gaps up, comes back in. That's a 2 up, and that's a 2 down, and down she goes hard. Red on the month, 2-2 reversal on the week, setting up the outside day, and then once it does, you got your inside 30 right there. Down she goes. So if we go back to SPY, he's just stalling out in here, so we'll see. It should be interesting, especially with a lot of earnings coming out. We got the president coming out with a press conference going to talk about the Ukraine, so that's still up in the air. So we're taking a lot of things day by day and really hour by hour to see where we're going to go. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm going to the Swiss Black Strat Time Report.